Welcome back to Dancing Through Business, where we talk all things movement, mindset, and making business work without losing ourselves along the way.
And today we're diving into a topic that I think every dancer and business owner can relate to, stress. And that's in honour of Stress Awareness Month coming up in April.
Because let's be honest, if you run a business, teach classes, manage people, and have a life, stress shows up at some point.
And the goal isn't to eliminate stress completely, it's learning how to recognise it and manage it better.
Okay, let's start with the big question. Are you a stress head?
Well, Jules, I was thinking about this actually because you said you were going to open with that. And I feel like I haven't heard that phrase since the 90s, the stress head phrase. We do talk about stress, don't we? But I feel like it was something we called our mums or something. When we were growing up, oh, mum was such a stress head, leave me alone.
I've never stopped using it. You actually really aged me when you said, I haven't heard that since the 90s. I thought that was a phrase in itself when I saw you write, I haven't heard that since the 90s. I was like, oh, is that a phrase now? But no, you were referring to me, so stress head.
So do I feel like I get stressed? I definitely do get stressed. I think it's normal. It'd be abnormal to say that, oh, well, I don't get stressed. I probably don't show it too much on the outside, unless the kids are really winding me up, and then I can lose my whatever with them. But no, I try not to get to that point either. But if I do feel stressed, I think I carry it more internally, if anything. How about you? Do you find that you're I don't imagine that you would be, but do you get stressed?
Oh, I felt like me kind of going, oh, that's a dangerous place to be. You should like internalising stress. So stress head. I'm not a stress head, I don't think, and I don't think you are either.
No,
I was trying to imagine you being stressed, and I don't think I've ever seen it. You always smile through every bit of pain. But yeah, as you said, it's probably not good for us. I live with a stress head. So Hayden is a stress head. Hayden's my husband and business partner and dance partner. So I spend a lot of time with a stress head. But I've definitely not grown up with a stress head. I can't think in my family household that there was a stress head. So yeah, it's been new to me in my life with Hayden as opposed to my family life.
Yeah, that's interesting. She said, oh, he's a dancer as well, like you both dance, and he's quite high achiever. He's very much high achieving. Do you think there's a link with stress and someone being quite high achieving?
Yes, I think you're right. I think that there is Hayden always wants to achieve, be successful. Yeah, whatever that means to him. He's very self-motivated. I don't think he cares what other people think, but it's about his own self. I think those stresses are put on personally. Yeah,
he puts pressure on himself. And I think as dancers we can get to that point of being stressed because we want it to be perfect. We don't want to slip up, literally. We don't want to fall over. But at the same time, I think dance as well, it helps us balance stress out. Any sort of movement actually does help with that stress. So if I'm feeling stressed, I do just go for the movement, like whether that be the gym or go for a walk. I try and incorporate it with the kids as much as possible as well, like cycling to school.
What a great idea.
Yeah, and that really like sets us up for the day as well. Like the other day when it was freezing cold, we cycled to school. And Ollie was like so good with it. He goes, oh mum, I've got brain freeze. But that was the only thing he said in terms of like a negative thing. I was like, this is really good for us. We're like being resilient, we're pushing through the cold, and actually it's really good for you to be out in the cold anyway, and really good for your immune system. I think, yeah, it's a really good way to de-stress before the day ahead. So yeah, that's definitely a good thing to do, like dancing, movement, the gym.
Yes, yeah. And I love how you incorporate exercise with it being a practical thing. So as you say, going to school and going on their bikes. Did everyone else look at you mad, or do they just look at you mad every day?
Every day. Yeah, but yeah, people do look at us mad.
Yeah, but movement and you say exercise, anything that gets you up, out, moving, has been proven to boost our mood. So one of the I love that we can trick ourselves to feeling happier and to getting rid of stress. So what happens in your body, your mind reacts to it.
Yeah.
It was funny when we were with Chris. I didn't mention it in the podcast with Chris, but he was talking about a stressful situation, and I felt like I went with him. My shoulders went up, and I was like, oh my god, like we live stressful situations, so we can trick ourselves by like shoulders back, head up, looking up, and by looking up, it tricks your brain to being happier. And if you look down, you feel more miserable.
Interesting.
So that's a trick. So yeah, exercise is another, like, because it makes you feel happy, even if you're feeling sad and miserable. Actually, by running around, or you just can't help it, you'll feel better.
But it's interesting what you said about you getting the body language off Chris, because it is contagious, isn't it? If you're around people that are stressed, you find that you're gonna get stressed because you see other people rushing around, or they're on high alert, or if someone's happy or sad,
you live it with them.
Yeah, tend to mimic people's emotions, don't you? And people are smiling, that's catching. Yes. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So things like that, yeah, it is contagious.
Yeah, one of my favourite things to do, I set myself a little task, little goal.
Yeah.
And it was something that I was given. We were talking about mentors in a previous podcast. But as a mentor told me many moons ago, Annie Perry, if you're still out there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she's out there. You're still out there. She's out there. She told me, or gave me, a task of giving someone a compliment and doing it to random people. And it's one of my favourite things to do today, is do it like if you're like on a train, public transport, or you're just about to leave somewhere. It's really awkward if it's at the beginning of, like, if you're sitting on the train, if you give someone a compliment when you first get on the train, then you've got to stare at them for the next half an hour or something. So do it as you're getting off the train. But say to someone, like, just give yourself a challenge when you're sitting on public transport or waiting for something, of what you like. Is someone wearing something you like? Is their hair something you like? If they've got a nice top, have they just got a nice smile? Just look for something in someone that you like, and then challenge yourself to tell them. So as you leave the train, you say, I love those shoes, and stop it. Like, that's it. That's all you need to say. And it's like, I set myself a challenge of doing that as much as I can, because it makes me feel good. But hopefully it makes the person that I've said that you look good feel good.
Oh, totally. Yeah, if I got a compliment from a random stranger, I'd feel over the moon, because it doesn't happen that often, doesn't it? So yeah, I think connection is a really good way of reducing stress as well, having that social connection with people, because it just takes you away outside of if you're in your head, and then you just have a little break from that and just have a bit of social connection with people, which is exactly what you've just said. And that's why I like going to my coffee shops to work, because then every now and again you have a little break with people, the regulars that come in. It just takes you away from all those emails that you're like, you know, all tense. We're doing that. Actually, I've noticed in the last sort of year or so, I've been getting lots of neck pain. So yeah, talking about how stress sort of manifests. I'm not sort of an outwardly stressful person, but it's gonna come out one way or the other, isn't it? And for me, I think I've been getting neck pain because of it, and that's just from like computer, emails, trying to get through as much work as possible, like we do. So I need to make sure I'm in the swing of using those levelers where you raise up your laptop so it's more eye level, and take more regular breaks.
Your body tells you. We can ignore it, because you could ignore neck pain, right? But your body's telling you something.
Yeah. Exactly.
One of the things I find interesting is that 100 people is like the happy space. So if you have a community of 100 people, you're happier. So the perfect size organisation is 100 people, because within 100 people you'll have a diversity. So yeah, we are social beings, social animals. We have evolved to be together. Like it's how we've survived. You can't survive on your own out in the wild. You need to be together.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of the things I'm listening to at the moment, the podcasts I'm listening to, is about how we survived in our ancestry, and by being together in a community is how we've survived.
Yeah.
And sharing that knowledge. So yeah, it's in our DNA, it's in our nature. We need to be around other people.
Yeah, especially for us. Well, you tried working at home, didn't you, through lockdown, and now you've got an office, you've got your own company, Warner Recruitment, so you've got like a few employees. How is your sort of culture within the office? Do people get stressed, or is it quite a nice calm working environment?
I hope it's calm. I like to try and anticipate things, so rather than, like, things will happen, you know, stresses do happen at work, but what can we do that so if something happens that we didn't expect, I try and review that and go, right, if this happened again, what could we have done better to have avoided that situation? Yeah, it can go as simple as, like, we run a recruitment company. So when we take a vacancy, we send CVs. So why not get all the CVs formatted before you take a job? Because otherwise, like, if I take a job and then I'm trying to send 10 CVs to that job, I've got to do it right there and then, and it's stress. Whereas if I'm meeting people, why not get their CVs formatted as I meet them? Like, the reason I've met them is because I think I can find them a job. So why not get their CVs done
ready
beforehand?
Yeah.
And you know, something we were just talking about today is the next generation coming through, particularly because of lockdown. They have been at home, like, and don't know what it is to necessarily be in an office or around people. Like Gen Z, Gen Z are like in the workplace. They're probably more for Gen Alpha. Like Gen Alpha are, what are they? Born in 2000, and well, Archie, my nephew,
Jack is Gen Alpha.
Is how old is he? 2012.
2013.
Born in 2013. So I think Gen Z finishes in 2012 and Gen Alpha start in 2013.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's on the borderline.
Yeah, so if you've got kids between the two, it's quite interesting to see if you think your Gen Alpha kid is different to your Gen Z child. But yeah, anyone that was involved in lockdown, and particularly as a child, they've had a gap in that social interaction. So going into the office, working 9 to 5, general office hours, doing what your boss tells you to do, it's alien. So we need to educate the younger generation on how to conduct themselves at work, and not just expect them to know, like previous generations. So we need to challenge norms, and so yeah, that's something that we're looking, or we'll be doing in the future, is training people on what to expect, rather than just throw them in the deep end and hope they swim.
And it's resilience as well, isn't it? If they haven't had that experience out in the real world, as it were, then they're going to have less resilience when they're going back into the workplace. And that's what we try and teach the kids, don't we? Resilience. And that's why being out in the cold on your bike, whether it's cold or sunny, is good for you. Whether they like it or not.
Full stop, it's good for you. Move and
Jules, have you got any tips for if you've got a stressful day coming, you know it's going to be a really busy or a stressful day, have you got a tip for anyone?
Oh, this links nicely to our podcast with remind me of her business name.
Oh, Erin.
Yes, Erin.
Life Friendly.
Yes. Yeah. She was talking about not or setting yourself up expectations to achieve for the day, rather than trying to be super person and achieving everything. Right, today is going to be busy, it's going to be stressful, so who can we let know, like in our household, today I've got this big project, I'm going to be stressed. So why don't let the people around you know to expect that, and then they know to back off or not expect quite as much from you on that day. So if I've got a busy diary, like, my team know that today's not the day. I also tell my team what days that I'm more available for internal meetings. So I structure my week like that. So like Tuesdays and Thursdays I'll be interviewing, Wednesdays I'm out meeting clients, so like my Mondays and Fridays are much more for internal meetings. So that's how I manage it at work, and in personal life it's good to tell people when you're gonna have a difficult time, so that they can just be a little more easy with you.
And just keep things simple, like you say, like that's the thing you're doing that day, and don't block anything else, don't put anything else in the diary for that day if you know you've got like a stressful day ahead. So if I know that on the tax return, my goodness, if you have to do that once a year like I do, I literally spend the whole day doing that because I don't want to just drag it out over weeks, getting all the little figures together, bits and pieces. I literally spend my whole day in the coffee shop, write things down, get all the files up, whatever. And I know that I'm not going to be doing anything else that day because it pretty much does take me all day. There's no point trying to squeeze that into an hour and then trying to work the rest of the day. I think, right, if I just spend, and it just makes the day calmer as well, rather than a stressful activity, sandwiching it in between lots of other things.
Yeah. And you're in an environment that you like being in, because you love being in the coffee shop, interacting with other people, so that you don't feel like you're an admin slave that day.
Yeah, you're not at home distracted by other things as well. Yeah, so it's Stress Awareness Month coming up, so hopefully this has given you a few little tips to help you be less stressed, but also being aware that it's okay to be stressed and letting that happen, and trying to cope with it as best as possible.
Agreed. So ask yourself, what stresses me out and what helps to bring me back to calm?
Thanks for dancing through business and stress with us, and we'll see you next time.